What a great win by the Green Bay Packers. Packers beat the Commanders 27-18, but it was still more of an ass beating, more than those 18 points. I guess kind of garbage time. I mean, it was a good game. Offense kind of stalled out a bit. Offense honestly probably could have put up way more points than this. At least another touchdown or a field goal. Well, we missed the field goal, but yeah, really this game should have been like 40 points, 40-18 or something. But nonetheless, it was a good win. Jaden Daniels passing 24 of 42, 200 yards exactly, 2 TDs. Rushing wise, he had 7 carries for 17 yards, so we held him in check. Austin Eckler 8 for 17. Also, man, that sucks. The injury he had, torn Achilles, it looks like. Man, just prayers up for him. I love me some Austin Eckler, man. He was a phenomenal player with the Chargers, man. Won me one of my fantasy leagues one year, for sure. So it just sucks, especially with his age and his position. Like, it might be the end of Austin Eckler. So prayers up to him. Hope he has a speedy and healthy recovery. Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt, or Bill, had 4 carries for 17 yards. I thought it was hilarious. Well, not hilarious. The Commanders marketing team, or whatever you want to call them, their media team, put out a clip on Twitter. I'm just a Bill.
I wonder who that sad little scrap of paper is.
I'm just a Bill.
He wants everyone to call him Bill. I'll call him Bill.
It's easier.
Yeah.
Handle cuts out to the right, to the 5, into the end zone. Touchdown! Touchdown, Washington! Bill Krosky-Merritt!
And it was kind of hard, but he really didn't do much this game. We had him unlocked the whole game. Receiving, Zach Ertz, 6 receptions, 64 yards and a TD. Terry McLaurin, 5 receptions, 48 yards, no touchdowns. McLaurin, ever since he got that bag, he just hasn't been playing great. Debo, 7 receptions, 44 yards and a TD. Luke McCaffrey, 1 reception, 19 yards, and then it goes, Noah Brown, 1 for 9, Austin Eckler, 2 for 7, Ben Sinnott, 1 for 7, Jalen Lane, 1 for 2, and Bill, no receptions. Packers, Jordan Love, 19 of 31, 292 yards, 2 TDs. Josh Jacobs, 23 carries, 84 yards, a touchdown, extending the streak, I believe, to 10 games now. Savion Williams, 2 carries for 24 yards. Matthew Golden, 2 carries for 15 yards. Jordan Love had 3 carries for 12 yards. Receiving, Tucker Kraft, man. Finally, I've been waiting for him to break out. And this might have been the game where he showed it. Like, he's been a great tight end. Ever since, at first when we first got Luke Musgrave, like, I thought Luke's still good too. But when Luke went down with an injury, and then Tucker was getting more snaps and everything, dude, he was better. If I remember correctly, Luke kind of wasn't the best blocker, so Tucker Kraft came in, and he was a better blocker, and he can obviously tear apart a defense. 6 receptions, 124 yards, and a TD, giving me young George Kittle vibes, 2018 George Kittle vibes. Dontavian Wicks, 4 for 44. It looks like Wicks has the problem down. I don't think he's had a drop these past 2 games. Most receivers haven't had drops these past 2 games. This is what we should have been doing last year. It finally seems like they're getting it together. Malik Heath, 1 reception for 37 yards, which, hell of a reception. Man, that was a phenomenal catch, man. Giving me Jared Cook vibes from the Cowboys playoff game. Luke Musgrave, 2 for 32. Romeo Dobbs, 3 for 28 and a TD. Chris Brooks, 3 for 27, and Matthew Golden had like 2 targets and no receptions, no yards. Jaden Reed also, had no catches, but he went out with an injury on that should have been touchdown. Talk more about that later. Defensive wise too, I think we had 4 sacks this game. Edgerrin Cooper, half a sack. Sean Gary, a sack. Devontae Wyatt, a sack. Carl Brooks, half a sack. Micah Parsons, half a sack. Baron Sorrell, half a sack. So this defense played lights out. Team stats, Commanders had 230 yards, Packers had 404. Passing yards, 179 to 269. Rushing yards, 51 to 135. yards per play, Commanders had 3.5. Packers had 6.4. Packers third down efficiency, 5 for 12. Commanders 5 for 16. Fourth down, Packers are 0-1. Commanders were 1-3. They had a 2-point conversion as well. Total plays, Commanders 65, Packers 63. Sacks allowed, Packers had allowed 2 sacks, Commanders allowed 4. Both teams punted 4 times. No fumbles, no interceptions. Time of possession, Packers led 32 minutes and 26 seconds to the Commanders 27 minutes and 34 seconds. Now, the biggest thing too that I had a problem with is the penalties. Packers had 10 penalties for 77 yards, which that's kind of bad, especially in the situations we got them in. So we'll talk about the offense a bit first, but the offense, they started off pretty great. Jordan Love started off good, completing passes, going through his reads and everything, making good throws. In the first quarter, Josh Jacobs got a false start. I believe it was Josh Jacobs got a false start. Backed us up a little bit. Next play, we're already backed up a little bit more than we should have been. Jaden Reed, Jordan Love threw a phenomenal ball to Jaden Reed. And it was a TD, but it was a holding call. So the touchdown got called back. Jaden Reed unfortunately got hurt. Broken collarbone is what they're saying. And, he should be back this season, but it probably won't be towards the end of the year or playoffs. I would think, especially if the Packers going the way they are, they're winning games. They're not in the hunt. They damn near have a playoff position secured already. I think they're going to sit Jaden Reed to playoffs. Another thing on offense, Packers went for it like on a 4th and 2. The ref got in Love's way and was stopping him from, they tried to go hurry up offense. The ref got in the way. Love, kind of was pissed off. But we seen it was Ignigbare who, on 4th down, he ran out there because he thought it was a field goal. And the ref had to let him get off the field before they can continue to play. We saw Matt LaFleur chewing him out. I don't like to see, players make mistakes like that, but I do love seeing Matt LaFleur, chew some players out. Good energy. So with Jaden Reed out, you would think Matthew Golden would get some type of receptions, but Love did target him. Middle of the field, deep ball, and it looked good, but Love missed him by just a bit. There was another one, I can't remember where it was, but he got like an end zone target and just kind of Love underthrew him. And, I guess good defense too by the defender. So I think those were his only 2 targets that day. McManus missed a kick. He was 2 for 3 on the day too, so he made 2 more. One of them was a 56-yarder. We had another drive where Fitzpatrick got a holding call, kind of killed the drive too. Sean Ryan had a holding call later on in the game, killed a drive. Well, it was Sean Ryan had a holding call, and then Tucker Kraft had a false start, so now it was 1st and 25. So yeah, just got to clean that up a bit. Other than that, I think the offense played great. Just clean up some of the holding calls and everything, and I would say try to get more players involved, but Jordan Love likes to pass the ball around, and I'm kind of just saying it to be selfish for my fantasy purposes and my parlays. But from a team perspective, it's great, man, getting everybody involved. Other than Kraft, Dontavian Wicks led their team with 4 receptions, but Heath had 1, Munscriff had 2, then 3 and 3 from Dawes and Chris Brooks. Which last week I think Jaden Reed led the team in receptions with 3. So that's usually about all the receivers get. Like I said, Love likes to spread the ball around, which is good. I have no problems with that at all. And I think this offense, man, I still feel like they're scratching the surface. They're right there almost already. We're gonna see after the bye. Really, we got the Browns and Bengals coming up. And then we have the Browns at Cleveland. We have the Cowboys at Dallas. We got a bye. Then we got the Bengals at home, I believe it is. So, and I think we go on the road again after that. I could be wrong after the Bengals game, but still. Early bye. We'll see how that goes. And yeah, just want to say Tucker Kraft is a dog, man. Defense, once again, looked great. They gave up a touchdown towards the end of the game, 2 touchdowns. Whatever, honestly. So if you include Detroit's garbage time touchdown from last week in 2 games, they let up 3 scores. If you don't include it, then 2 touchdowns. And these were kinda, I think one of them was kind of garbage time. One of them had the Commanders, like it was like 14-10, so I wouldn't consider that garbage time, but it was pretty much garbage time in the second time. But yeah, the Packers defense, man, they've been flying. Because after that 4th and 2, and the ref got in Love's way, and you know, the whole miscue of Ignabarre, Commanders went quick 3 and out. So the first quarter, dude, Packers were lights out. Also, I forgot to say, Matt LaFleur, he won a challenge. Defense was flying all over the place. After the Micah half a sack, we want to call it, Matt Gay missed a kick, a doink, which McManus also had a doink. So that's a double doink. The penalties were, again, a problem too, not just on the offense too, because on 4th down, holding call on Hobbs, Packers stopped them on 4th down. I think Packers stopped him on 4th down, or they stopped him and it would have been 4th down, but either way, Hobbs got a holding call. So it gave them a 1st down to keep the Commanders alive, and Zach Ertz ended up getting a TD that drive. Keyshawn Nixon had a nice pass deflection on 4th down later, I think maybe towards the last drive, right before Debo scored. It was 3rd down. McKinney had a holding call. It would have been 4th down, but now it was 1st and goal, and I believe that's when Debo scored. Also, I just want to say, Keyshawn Nixon, I was not familiar with your game. I was never the one to, you know, when people were talking about Jair getting traded, Keyshawn's cornerback number 1, I didn't have a problem with that because Jair barely played any games for us last year. So, I mean, it is what it is. But I never had no problem with Keyshawn Nixon being cornerback number 1. I thought maybe against people like, you know, the upper echelon receivers like Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson, you know, which still to be determined. We're going to see how he can hold his own against those people when he does man up on them. But I had no problem with Keyshawn. All the shit talking online turned Keyshawn into prime Darrelle Revis. That shit's crazy. But Keyshawn, man, hell of a game. I think he had like 4 or 6 or 5 pass breakups, which is phenomenal play. I think he allowed 1 reception for 9 yards. I said, dude, these Packers, this defense is flying all over the place. Like, when you see like the quick out routes or the scrambles or like the screens, like give it like 2 seconds and all of a sudden you just seen white jerseys everywhere. Packers 2-0. We go to Cleveland next week. It kind of sucked having that quick turnaround going from Sunday to Thursday, you know, especially week 2. But everybody does it, I guess. So this sucks that it was us, and then we have an early bye. So either way, Packers are 2-0, number 1 in the division, number 1 in the NFC technically, but number 1 in the division because they got 2 wins. Vikings also have a win. We do have an NFC North matchup with the 0-1 Lions taking on the 0-1 Bears. It's at Detroit, and dude, man, this is a big game for both those teams, man. Being 0-2, starting off 0-2 in the division is crazy. We don't play another NFC North rival till like week 11 or 12 or something like that. It's like November that we'll play another NFC North team. So for now, we'll be 2-0. We'll see how these other NFC North teams do. But that's it, man. Just great game all around. So we'll be back here for the Browns game, and maybe even, I wanted to do a preview for this game, but you know, being on a short week and me working, I worked a lot of hours this week. Kind of hard too. I also technically did a reaction video to week 1 Packers and Lions, but you know, getting time to edit it, by the time I could even get to it, it was already Tuesday. And you know, I also did my Packers prediction before the season, quick, like I did it on Sunday, like while the noon games were going on, but I just didn't get to upload it. I know for sure I had the Commanders losing, or I had the Commanders winning this game, but that was before I seen how the Packers played against the Lions week 1, because if I seen that first, yeah, I was picking Packers to beat the Commanders. So that's it. With that being said, go Pack Go.